Look, it's everything bagel seasoned focaccia bread. It's so good. Want to make a delicious homemade focaccia bread with seeds on it? Well, today I'm going to share with you how to make fresh focaccia with Trader Joe's everything bagel seasoning. Now, I thought focaccia couldn't get any better than just enjoying plain old focaccia with a little bit of salt and olive oil, but really once you add everything bagel seasoning to focaccia bread, you're going to wonder why you didn't do it like a million years ago. So anyways, I'm gonna take you today in the kitchen and share with you how to make focaccia bread with everything bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's. Let's go do it. So in a large mixing bowl, you stir together flour and dry yeast, and then you make a small well in the center of the flour mixture and you set it aside. In a separate bowl, you whisk together water and sea salt until the salt completely dissolves into liquid. It just takes about a minute to get these two mixtures going. And then you pour the salt water mixture into the large mixing bowl that had the flour and dry yeast, and to that you add a little bit of olive oil. Then you knead the dough with your hands and fold it together by taking each corner and folding it into itself. So you work your way around, you just keep kneading and kneading and kneading and kneading the dough. And here's Chef Hubs doing his magic, kneading all of the dough. And this just goes on for about a minute. And then you let the focaccia dough rest and you cover it with a damp cloth. That's going to keep it nice and moist. Then you repeat the step where you knead and let the dough rest, knead and let the dough rest. You do this about 2 or 3 times. And then after it's done, you cover it with some plastic wrap and let the dough rise on the counter for 2 hours, or you can let it rise in the fridge overnight. Now, believe it or not, we accidentally forgot that we made focaccia dough one week, and we left it in the fridge for 6 days. Life was just really busy that week. So you can leave it up to 6 days according to our focaccia bread fermentation experiment. And the dough should almost double in size when you're ready to use it. So next you're going to liberally spread a little bit of olive oil on the bottom and sides of a 9 by 13 inch baking pan. All areas of the focaccia will touch the sides of the pan, so you want to make sure that they're covered, because the whole point of focaccia is that it gets delicious and oily and crunchy on the outside. And that's why adding the crunchy everything bagel seeds on top of focaccia tastes so delicious. So anyways, you stretch the dough, pushing it to fit the shape of the baking pan. And it might be hard to work with the dough because the focaccia dough is sticky. If you're having trouble stretching the dough, cover the dough with a damp cloth and let it sit for 10 minutes out on the counter. That will give the dough enough time to relax, making it so much easier to stretch. The first rise happens in the pan. Once the dough is stretched to fit the corners of the baking pan, you cover the baking pan with a damp towel and set it aside in a warm area for 45 to 60 minutes. A sunny window or the oven with just the light on, which will make it about 85 degrees, is perfect for having the dough rise. So are you ready to add everything bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's to focaccia bread? Well, I sure am, because this is such a delicious recipe. So after the dough is done proofing in the warm spot, either your oven or windowsill, it's time to dimple the dough. And when you dimple the dough, you're going to take your fingers and move your fingers between a little bowl of water and the dough so the dough doesn't stick to the fingers. So you're going to do this. It just takes a minute or two, and you want to make sure there's a ton of little dimples in there. So then after the dimples are made in the focaccia dough, you cover the dough with a damp towel and set it aside in a warm area again. So you notice you keep doing a little bit of work and then letting it rise, doing a little bit of work, letting it rise. So after that final proof, it's time to finish and bake focaccia in the oven. But what you're going to do first is the fun part. You're going to top the dough with some olive oil and add everything bagel seasoning to focaccia dough at this point. So you bake focaccia for 20 to 30 minutes until the top is golden brown and the internal temperature reads 190 degrees on a thermometer. You transfer the focaccia when it's all done to a wired baking rack and add a drizzle of olive oil if desired. So I'm going to leave you with a few more pointers on how to make focaccia bread with everything bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's. But before I do that, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the sipbitego channel on YouTube for more easy restaurant-style meals that you can make at home. And check out sipbitego.com for recipes that you can print out. So after the focaccia bakes for about 20 to 30 minutes at 450 degrees in the oven and reaches an internal temperature of 190 degrees when you use a thermometer, it's time to transfer the focaccia bread to a wired baking rack. And the bottom of the focaccia bread should be hard and crispy, just like the top, and it should be golden brown all around. If it's not yet at that stage, pop it back in the oven for a few minutes at a time until it looks just like it does in this video. Drizzle a little bit of olive oil on focaccia dough after it's done baking, and then it's ready to enjoy. At our house, we love to make all sorts of versions of focaccia bread. My husband's been going a little bit crazy making it since we've been inside a lot more these days. So we use it a lot on breakfast sandwiches, chicken sandwiches. I'll leave you links to that in this post, and I have so many other easy recipes that you can try at sipbitego.com and check out at the Sipbitego channel on YouTube. So catch those recipes if you're looking for more interesting things to make at home. I love to make restaurant style food at home, so the more gourmet the better, but it definitely has to be easy and simple because we are busy parents and we're just trying to eat really well at home. Well, this is definitely an easy focaccia bread recipe for beginners. I think just adding a simple topping like everything bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's really takes this focaccia bread to the next level. If you're looking for more tasty topping ideas for focaccia bread, don't forget to check out sipbitego.com. I have a few recipes there for you. Well, until next time, I hope that you have a wonderful and delicious day. Cheers! And here are just a couple other recipes that you might love.